Today we have lots of smartphones which have really good specs and everything, but one thing still needs an improvement: a battery life. A Chinese smartphone maker, Elephone, wants to offer a very affordable solution with the P4000 model. Let's take a look. The phone comes in a plain box and the contents include the charging brick, USB cable, screen protector, and some documentation. The Elephone P4000 comes with a 5 inches panel which has a low resolution of 720p. Nevertheless, it's an HD display and it's bright, colorful, it has an above average sunlight visibility, and it is good for a budget device overall. When it comes to the design of the phone, the first thing you're going to see is that it is quite a thick device. That's because of the monster battery size, which is 4600 mAh, and the device supports the quick charging mode. Other than that, the Elephone P4000 is manageable with one hand due to its small screen. On the front side, we have a 2 megapixels camera along with the earpiece and sensor light, and on the bottom there is a backlit home button which also serves as a pulsing notification light, but other capacitive keys don't have a backlight. The backplate is made of glossy plastic and it feels quite cheap, to be honest. Also, it makes a few wobbling noises when pressed harder. The 30 megapixels shooter along with the LED flash will help you take some pictures, and the loudspeaker is located on the bottom. The volume rocker and the power button are on the right side, and they have a good tactile feedback but feel a bit plasticky. The top side is where you can find a headset jack, and the bottom is where the micro USB and the main microphone are located. Overall, the design is uninspiring due to its plastic build, and the device looks and feels a little bit cheap. The Elephone P4000 runs on Android 5.1 and you can enjoy almost stock Android experience with just a little bit of extra functionality. Usually, the UI is running smoothly, but I've experienced a little bit of stutter with a lot of apps running in the background, but nothing major. The device has a 64-bit MTK6735 chip along with 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of expandable storage. Gaming performance is quite good, but you may see a few skipped frames and loading times are a bit longer than on higher end devices. A good thing is that the phone doesn't heat up too much. The multimedia experience is just mediocre. While the screen is decent to watch Full HD movies on, the loudspeaker could be better as it could have more depth in its sound and it starts crackling at the highest volume setting. The sound via earphones is quite good, but nothing to be impressed about. The Elephone P4000 has a stock MediaTek camera app which allows you to play with a few settings and shoot emotes. The shutter speed is just average though. The phone has a 13 megapixels camera on the back, but it actually disappoints in real life. It seems that the sensor is having a hard time focusing as a lot of pictures came out blurry with a low level of detail. If you manage to hold your hand very steady, you may have some better looking images. However, they still lack in details, you can see visible noise, and the dynamic range is usually off. The shots taken indoors are mediocre as well, and the night shots do not impress as any other budget device. The footage produced by this phone could definitely see some improvements as the video doesn't have much details and sharpness. As far as connectivity options go, the call quality does not impress at all. The volume output is very low and the voices are simply not clear. It was hard to hear people on the other end while being in a bit more noisy environments. On the other hand, I had no problems with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and even GPS lock speeds as well as accuracy are good. Finally, we've come to the star of the show as the Elephone P4000 sports a non-removable 4600 mAh battery which lasts forever, and it's not easy to kill it in one day, doesn't matter what you do. The standby times are very good as I've used the device for 6 days with more than 6 hours of screen on time and there was still some juice left. With the lighter use, you may even get like 8 hours of screen on time, which is really impressive for such a cheap phone. Elephone P4000 is a device that has been made with one clear selling point: the amazing battery. After testing it out for more than a week, I can assure that it delivers, and this is the longest lasting budget smartphone, which costs just below $130 by the way, I've tested to date. Also, The Elephone P4000 has a decent 5-inch screen, good overall performance if you are not a heavy gamer of course. In addition, the phone has a dual SIM slots and one of them even supports 4G. Also, you can easily expand the storage via the microSD card slot. However, Elephone needed to make quite a few compromises to make a phone this cheap. The camera does not impress at all, the loudspeaker could be better, but most importantly, the call quality is poor. Well, you can still make conversations, but keep in mind that they would not be loud and clear via the earpiece. Finally, the Elephone P4000 is a device for those who want a very cheap phone with a killer battery life but accepts a few important compromises for the sake of a low price. It was Linus from TechLineHD, and if you found this review useful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, please check out the TechLineHD Facebook page as I post some other videos that I make and the articles that I write. See you in the next one.